on this episode.
Everybody's happier when the gloves are off and you can just go race.
Holy, that's scary. Five right, long, tightens full.
Panic was what I remember from that service.
As a mechanic, it's what you live for.
Oh, you're okay?
I don't think we'll make that mistake again.
This is Launch Control. It's race day in Missouri. The Show Me Rally, a rescheduled rework of the Rally in the 100-Acre Wood, marks round 4 of the 2020 ARA Championship. For Subaru, it's the tipping point. Their championship hopes hang by a thread. A win is the only option. The first of the Subarus to take to the stages is the STI of Brandon Semenuk and John Hall.
Late, 5 left, opens, and tightens, 5 plus over crest, 180.
They sit second in the championship thanks to consistency in the preceding 2 events. But if they want a shot at the crown, they need to beat current championship leader, Barry McKenna. The second Subaru to hit the stages is Travis Pastrana and co-driver Rhiannon Gelsomino.
Max right, 6 off camber, 95.
They took the event win at the previous round, and all eyes are on them to continue the trend. But his start position, 3rd on the road, isn't ideal.
Don't, right 5.
Lingering pockets of dust from the 2 cars ahead momentarily reduce the visibility. Regardless, he's at maximum attack and wins the opening stage.
Dude, it is slippy.
With just McKenna ahead of him, Semenuk faces less dust.
Good job. A little dusty, eh?
Yeah, it was a bit dusty. I'm glad I'm not Travis, though. It's gonna get worse for him.
Yeah.
I was in the woods half of that stage. We had first choice and we picked 3rd, and it is dusty as can be. So tonight, I hope the wind picks up.
Stage 2. And the teams know this is an important time to strike. After this stage, the teams return to service, and the next leg will be under the cover of darkness. With nightfall comes calm air and the potential for more hanging dust. Semenuk gives it everything. These roads offer room to push the limits, rewarding bravery. His pace is impressive for his first visit to this rally.
The dust was gnarly.
The dust was gnarly.
Couple mistakes in there.
Oh, man.
After 2 stages, Semenuk leads the event by 6.6 seconds over Pastrana in second.
Just wrapped up the first 2 stages of Show Me Rally. It was a pretty good first leg for us. Stage 1 was loose, little bit of dust, but we had a decent time. Travis crushed us in that one. And then stage 2 was crazy dusty. I think I'm leading for now, but we're about to head out to leg 2, and it's all night stages, so that'll be pretty interesting with the dust.
Man, we had some real close moments on that first stage. Went a little too aggressively. Still were able to put up 2 seconds for the stage win, which was awesome. But I tell you what, stage 2 was a moment. It was a moment that Brandon Semenuk became a rally driver. Brandon Semenuk won a stage by 9 seconds over myself and Barry McKenna, who both thought we had pretty good stages through there. And he did it in the dust. Hats off to you, sir. That was impressive. We all knew he had guts, and that proved it right there.
The fast pace sets a high bar for the championship leader to chase, which is Subaru's only remaining play. With only 2 events left to contest, it's unusual for this team to be a long shot for the championship.
We came into Show Me knowing that the math was very much against us for the championship.
For the last couple years, we had some unknowns about what we were going to do the following season.
We were working really hard on this big, complex deals, which involved multiple drivers and involved multiple different organizations. Hoonigan and Travis and Brandon and Red Bull and all of these different partners are part of these conversations. It just takes a lot of time.
The decision was made to skip Snowdrift to give us more time to plan.
It'll really simplify our off-season planning and prep. We'll do 8 events. 2 of them will be throw-out rounds. 6 of them will count for each driver's championship total, and that'll put us in a really good place to win the championship.
So we took the gamble. Our cars were reliable. We had a proven package for many, many years. So dropping 1 lowest we felt was sufficient.
Well, going forward, I don't think that should be a discussion.
We just had no idea what was coming.
While Subaru retooled its driver lineup, Barry McKenna attended the Snowdrift Rally and claimed 22 championship points for the event win. It was the only event to run before the American Rally Association season was put on pause for the pandemic. As the days passed, events began to announce their cancellations.
So as we went from 9 events down to 8 to 7 to 6, we were looking at, okay, now we only have 6 rounds on the calendar, including Snowdrift, which we skipped. If Southern Ohio was also 0, which it was for Travis with the engine fire, then there's still 4 events to count for your championship. It wasn't obvious to us at the time that the engine fire for Travis was going to be terminal for his championship hopes. We eventually would find out that LSPR was canceled.
McKenna's opportunity to drop a bad score remains, while Pastrana already has 2 0 scores and Semenuk has 1. So, Subaru's title hopes rest on McKenna not finishing 1 or both of the remaining rounds. McKenna can play the conservative long game.
The fact that we didn't go to Snowdrift because we just assume we're going to have a regular rally championship and we don't need to go was a mistake. And we haven't been in several years, but I don't think we'll make that mistake again because you just don't know what's going to happen. We were trusting in our performance for the remainder of the year, and then when the rallies got diminished to just a few rallies, we miscalculated.
When we came into Show Me, we weren't thinking so much about the championship. We were just going into it to do the best we could, to give the best race we could to Barry, and then have the best competition between our 2 guys.
We thought about the possibility of team orders and said, well, what if we could try to get Brandon up there to the top because he's got more points? And essentially we looked at it and we said, we should just race for wins. The championship is going to play out the way it plays out. Everybody's happier when the gloves are off and you can just go race.
With the win in mind, the night stages will play a critical role. Semenuk is gunning to hold on to his thin lead to start day 2 first on the road, dust-free. In a game of seconds, this stall won't help. He's now playing catch-up before the stage even really starts. Pastrana, sitting in second place, has his sights set on the lead in that all-important dust-free road position tomorrow. He puts the hammer down in an all-out attack.
Max right 6 off camber.
A wall of dust.
Right 6 off camber. Oh. You got it? Press going.
A momentary distraction.
Plate. The 4 minus.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, you're okay? 50
yeah,
up.
My bad.
Okay. Oh, you're right?
Yeah, we just got flat.
Slowing right.
The close call takes him out of contention for the lead.
This is a finish, and then we have a left call.
That's unexcusable, Reed. I'm sorry.
You're fine,
I'm really, really sorry.
Both Subarus drop time, handing a slim lead to McKenna.
We just hit walls of dust. Whenever we got clear, I was trying to drive hard. I overestimated my ability and the traction on the road, and we didn't go off a little, we went off a lot. So went into the far bank, put it up on 2 wheels, double flat tire. I was really hoping to stay in the hunt for the win. Just really disappointed myself, really. Got a lot of work to do.
When you overpush at 100 acre or show me rally, you're gonna get in the loose stuff and you're not gonna be as fast. So slow is fast on those roads. At the end of the day, Brandon's driving style gave him that edge.
Ojibwe, Brandon was right there with the top two guys. Once we got to show me, he started to be at the top of the list, and he was consistent. And that was the thing that was really impressive with him, was that he was turning in stage times that were first or second almost every stage.
Start of stage 3 was a bit of a bummer. I ended up stalling the car on the line. I don't know if I got it up to temp, and it just kind of bogged out on me, so ended up losing a bunch of time there. Planning to go back to the hotel right now and do my homework, because I'd love to keep Barry behind us.
As the battle in the woods pauses for the night, another challenge is being tackled in California by Subaru's dedicated fans. At SubiFest 2020, there's a record to beat and a worthy cause to support. To raise money for Feeding America, SubiFest is attempting to break the Guinness Book of World Records entry for the largest parade of Subarus. The parade, organized with COVID safety protocols in mind, has drawn 1,751 Subaru drivers from around the country who provided donations equivalent to nearly 250,000 meals. This number smashes the previous record of 549 Subarus. To celebrate the success, Subaru of America matches the donations of the participants, upping the total to 500,000 meals, proving that breaking records and helping others are just part of the Subaru culture. After a night's rest, the sun rises on day 2 of the Show Me Rally in Missouri. The next few miles will determine who's still in contention for the win. Semenuk and Hall trail McKenna by only 1 second. The temptation to push for the win is impossible to ignore. They could retake the lead with a strong opening stage, or, even better, push McKenna into making a mistake. Pastrana and Gelsomino need to be fast, but they also need a bit of luck. They lost almost a minute last night and know that they won't be able to regain that time on pace alone. Back with Semenuk, he concedes an additional 3 seconds to McKenna. He needs to pull out the stops or watch the wind slip away.
120.
That's when a heavy impact on a loose rock hammers the underside of the car.
Into 4 left minus. 40, right over flat crest. 60.
Behind him, Pastrana sees only the tracks of Brandon's attempt to avoid the rock.
Max right.
Holy someone's wife.
Left 5 short, over crest. I wonder who those lines were. Jesus.
Somebody had a big...
Massive moment. I was like, I'm happy that was enough.
Yep.
With 1 stage left to go in the morning leg, Semenuk is forced to come to terms with the result of the impact.
Well, you just cut in too far.
No, like the rock was, you pulled, like someone, you probably pulled it out.
Oh, and it lifted you?
It was, yeah, oh yeah.
What's the smoke, lad?
I don't know. It bent the sump guard, and I think it maybe hit the rad, and there's a little leak.
No, that's oil.
Oil?
Yeah. You can open
gearbox.
You can open it.
Came into a corner over a crest. There's a rock in the middle of the line, and it was big enough to actually like kick the sump guard up, and we like caught air, went wide, bounced the rear of the car off a bank, and there's a little bit of oil leaking, but I think we'll get through this.
Semenuk's optimism downplays the severity of the situation. He's at serious risk of not finishing the next stage. Forget the event win.
Okay, go get ready, Brandon.
I'm ready.
They need to conserve the car and get back to service where a larger repair can save his rally.
Go. Okay, 4 right plus, tightens, little over crest.
How much oil remains in the motor? How hard can he push to protect his position? There's nothing left but to drive.
4 right, opens, 60. Code 5 left plus, opens over crest, 50.
Pastrana is running third on the road. Every mile he runs and doesn't see his teammate is a good thing.
Fast jump 20, max right 5 plus.
That means Brandon is still running and isn't losing too much time. Adding to the drama, McKenna has developed a rear differential issue. The two leading cars are now suffering.
Plus over crest and max over finish.
The top 3 cars clear the stage, passing the baton to the service crews.
I get a text message from Brandon that's like, I hit a rock. I don't think it's too bad. I smell oil a little bit, but I think it's fine. So I'm thinking to myself, no big deal. I'll come in, we'll shake the wheels and make sure the rock didn't do any big damage. Dan just ran up and took a look at the car and said there's 4 wheels on it, so that's a good sign. So hopefully it's just a little cosmetic stuff and we'll get it back out there quickly without too much drama. So he pulls into the service area and we get the car up and I stick my head under the car and I can see engine oil. I look in further and I see the oil pan's crushed. So immediately I say oil pan. I yell out to Komar and he just says, I'm on it.
Getting this new oil pan ready to go on.
Cable tire, let's
there must be in the middle, just somewhere.
Panic was what I remember from that service. And the techs were swarming around that car. Once Travis's car was taken care of, it was all hands on deck. Everybody was, checking every area of Brandon's car, making sure that there weren't any additional pieces that needed to be addressed, while most of the techs were focusing on the engine.
Stand by.
And then it got down to 20 minutes left, and they're still tearing it apart, and the old oil pan's off, and it's 15 minutes left.
I might have this,
We ended up having to pull basically the whole front end of the car off.
I'm pushing down, I'm up. I got the pan out, Johnny. You think you can do it? I don't know. The pickup looks pretty good. It's got a little kick in it, but it's in the right spot.
But we have Komar under the car, Dan Farley under the car, and everything. There's wrenches flying and parts coming out and new parts going in, and it's, as a mechanic, it's what you live for.
Komar, cranking. Go for it.
Like the adrenaline rush, and that's why we're all here in the blue suits, is to get dirty and to save these cars.
Every minute was getting called. 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left.
And it took everything we had to get that car back together.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm sorry for laughing.
I couldn't, when I was on my back, I couldn't deal with it.
Pretty epic service. I wasn't expecting to go out on time, but yeah, they got us to the time control when we needed to, and the Subaru Motorsports USA team killed it, absolutely.
This was one time where the service crews had the result for the rally, because at the same time, Barry needed a rear diff in his car.
Well, that's why I said, because I was like, he's at least 3 minutes late, and I was like, he could be 4 or 5, and then...
And he ended up coming into the time control out of service late.
Barry's guys didn't get him out on time, so going into these stages now, Brandon's just picked up a 30-second lead over Barry after the penalties, so it's going to be an interesting finish to the day.
I guess in a way that kind of takes the pressure off. But I think that it's still the kind of stages wheel drive, quick we'll like to do. You don't want to mess around.
Stage 10, here we go. Time to get her to the finish.
From down by 10 seconds to up by 30. If anyone told you racing isn't a team sport, they would be lying.
80 of us, hold 4 left, plus, long, hold 4 left, plus, long, here.
Brandon has just 3 stages left to run and a small lead to manage. This is now Seminux Rally to lose. For Pastrana, a 3rd place finish is a tough pill to swallow.
Care, turn, left 3 plus, long in, left 3 plus, long in, 35 down.
He's a competitor and expects to be fighting for the win, but it just wasn't in the cards. His rally ends the way it started. fully committed through walls of dust.
Right 5, there's right 5 after this. Yep, got it.
Holy crap, that's scary. You're like, Max across the finish. I'm like, are you sure? I can't see, it's dusty.
And then I'm like, oh, we got a tight corner after it though.
Back with Semenuk, there are just a few turns left. The newest Subaru driver adds his first American win to his record.
Long crest.
And it was really, really impressive to see the two of them put in quick times, not make any mistakes, drive the way they needed to focus on winning the event. And it was a really phenomenal moment to see Brandon get his first US win like that.
Titan Sport.
There we go. Yeah, nice, John. Thank you.
Oh, good weekend.
Awesome weekend.
He proved how professional he is, proved how well he can handle a car like that.
I can't believe it. That's first ARA win for me. I didn't expect that this year with the team. I was just hoping to, get on the podium maybe once or twice, but man, it's been a great year so far. Let's keep doing this.
Well done. Fair fucking video. You deserve that. Well done. You deserve that. Well done.
All right, good man.
Good lethal racing.
Yeah,
enjoyed
that was proper.
I really enjoyed that.
Good.
That's the way it should be.
So good.
It's great to see it.
Did you win?
What's awesome about this is Brandon in his rookie season has 3 for 3 with podiums with Subaru. Not only is he fast, but he's smart, and it's going to be really, really tough to keep up with him in years to come. So definitely super proud of him, super stoked. Also a little disheartening that someone on their first rally came and absolutely whooped my ass, but at the end of the day, this is awesome. Congratulations on the win, and stoked for double Subaru podium.
Thanks, Ben. You too.
Thank you.
He's just growing every event, and I think you can expect him to keep growing through the rest of the season and the rest of his career. I don't think he's anywhere near the potential that he has.
The team they really won this rally for us, I think. Got into service, they got everything fixed. It helped me a lot going into that, knowing the team crushed it, and we had that over Barry.
In any other year, it would be the makings of a title run.
Our drivers were both very good, and we pulled off 2 spots on the podium. Barry finished strong enough to wrap up the championship.
Not a whole pile left.
There's only like 1 or 2 seconds.
Devastating, actually.
Yeah.
Devastating for me. You won. Fair and square. Great. Good job. So he earned it. There's no question about it. It wasn't handed to him.
Barry McKenna getting the championship, it's not what any of us at Subaru wanted, but at the end of the day, this is a guy that's bringing a bunch of other cars to the rally. This is a guy that's passionate about it, and to have the passion and camaraderie between teams. At the end of the day, Subaru wants to win, of course, but to see Barry and McKenna Motorsports coming out there so strong, and to have guys that are really passionate about this makes it a fight. This sport is just growing and growing every year.
I think we found out that we're a team that can overcome a tremendous amount and still be dedicated and competitive and hardworking and be out there on the rally stages putting up fast times no matter what.
Next time, on Launch Control.
Probably the most challenging rally on the circuit.
I think going into this last rally, they're going to go out and push as hard as they ever have.
Second stage was absolutely terrible.
Oh my God.
We're real close to the base, but we made a lot of mistakes.
And it cost us pretty huge.
Right 5 on his shop.
We will find a way to rally. We will find a way to do what we love to do.